It says second cousins in Cairo.
The second cousins in Cairo, Egypt. I pictured them as being extremely old, and they reminded me of typical Arabs. But here they don't look that old.
It wasn't insulting to wear short pants.
Aunt Helen didn't like me to do that.
To wear short pants.
Yes, I remember on the bus in coming from Piraeus going to Athens, she made a comment.
Not to wear short.
Yes.
But once you were in Egypt, though, did anyone give you any tribute?
No, because we were tourists and all that. But looking at it now, it was a stupid thing for me to do. Look at my hair; it was long sideburns.
1970s.
Is she having? Is she holding a cat?
Can't tell.
Can't tell. But yeah, second cousins. That's right. And I don't know their names, but they did show me pictures of my father when he was little. So that's what I remember. But I remember them being, like I said, elderly.
So how were they related to? I mean, obviously second cousins.
Yeah.
So they were what?
Yeah. I don't know. This is Gail. Gail would know what these flowers are. Lotus, some kind of lotus. She was very fascinated with that, and I'm just looking at it. And
Garden in the Museum of Antiquities.
yes, to me, it was in the garden in Cairo, Egypt, 1970. We're looking
This is
at King Tut. We're looking at the gold sarcophagus at King Tut there, and wow, in the museum. This must be the fellow, is Gail there, and I believe he's the doorman to where we were staying in the Shepherd's Hotel. I think it was a Shepherd's Hotel we were.
And it says Shepherd's Hatch. Or maybe they meant hotel.
He was like a doorman, I believe. From our hotel, we're looking down to this is the Nile. In French, it's the Nil, N-I-L. And 1970. Egypt and Israel were still in the state of war, so we couldn't go to Port Said. This I don't know.
Was he like a guide or something?
He must be a guide. And there's Gail. Yeah. This is in front of the mosque. Oh my word! When I think this must be the mosque in the cathedral. I don't know if you call it. Before you go into the mosque, you have to purify yourself. You wash your hands and you wash your feet. You leave all your shoes outside. I mean, in 1970, a girl doesn't go into a mosque like that. I mean, first of all, you got to be covered up and look. I mean, exposed. I mean, I'm surprised we weren't stoned. You know, literally. I don't. This had to be, of course, Cairo, and the Citadel. This is the Citadel, and looking down at Egypt, at Cairo, and I don't know who these characters are.
Two kids.
Two kids. I think
Were
they were like
guides.
yeah, they wanted. No, they weren't like guides, but they were around. They wanted their pictures taken. You know. A street scene in Cairo. You notice British Overseas Air Corporation.
Oh, the men are wearing long pants or robes.
Yes, exactly. You had either Western style or Cairo. Now, we traveled down to Luxor, and these are some of the ruins, and there I am, still in my shorts, and I have my little wicker stick there, to get the flies away, you know.
Look like a British imperialist.
I know. In the days of empire, there's my little thing there. And to think that they are what? 5,000 years old. Wow. Yes, we got into. I felt like a, like a Raj, in India or something like that. Here we are in the carriage. Gail and I are being driven around. And this is in Luxor, I believe. Luxor, down the Nile. Back in Cairo, with the guide, I think he was the one that took us to the pyramids, I believe.
Oh, did he just guide you guys, or did he guide?
No, no individual. There were no Americans there at the time. The only other Westerners we saw there were Russian, because they were building the Aswan Dam, and they were very influential in Nasser's Egypt at that time, where the Europeans had been kicked out. I took a picture of the Sphinx. The Sphinx. I don't think I bought one. I think I took that. There's some people writing. Do you know how the nose was destroyed?
Was it Napoleon?
Napoleon, one of his officers decided to have cannon practice.
Wow. That's pretty awful.
And the Sphinx, I don't know if that's me pointing up there, but it's awfully high, of course, the Sphinx. And it faces east, I believe, right? Looking at the sun coming up all the time for 5,000 years. And there's the camel. I don't know if this is the one that I rode. Pyramids there, and he was, I don't know if this is Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola. But we will find out. You notice you go away from the Nile, you have a little bit of green, and then after that it's all desert. Then there's King Tut in all of his glory. Do you remember we went to Chicago? I believe it was you and Ethan Paul.
Yeah, we saw it in Chicago.
And we saw in the Museum of
Natural
Science and Industry, right?
Natural history.
Natural history. And we had to wait in line, I remember. And we drove by car to get there. And I remember saying, I saw that a few years back in Egypt at night. Sound and light, son lumière. King Tut. I must have, that must have been, I bought one. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I think these red ones are store-bought.
This is what was found in the tomb of King Tut. He had a nice vehicle there. I wonder what the significance of crossing your arms like that. Maybe for prayer. And of course, the relatives.